ABC 10 special election coverage. Your voice, your vote begins now.
Good evening. Welcome to our continued election coverage here on Late News Tonight. I'm Laura Painter.
And I'm Chris Thomas. We are tracking election results. We have races scrolling at the bottom of the screen, and you can also scan the QR code with your phone's camera.
We have live team coverage across our region tonight as ballots continue to get counted. Van 2 is live in Placer County following the congressional race between Kevin Kiley and Kermit Jones.
ABC 10's Kurt Rivera is in San Joaquin County tracking the congressional race there. And Luke Clary is at the Sacramento County Elections Office with a behind-the-scenes look as the votes are being counted.
And ABC 10's Becca Habiger is live and has been hearing from voters throughout the night. But we want to start with ABC 10's Morgan Reiner. A big night for California's governor. Morgan.
Good evening, Chris and Laura. Governor Gavin Newsom walked into this hotel behind me tonight with his entire family to accept that he won this election. He started off talking about Proposition 1, though, which will codify abortion rights into the state constitution. He said tonight California has affirmed that this is a freedom state, and in a very common move of his, he compared California to the national mood and the national stage, saying things like you have red state governors who fly migrants to states, referring to Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Take a listen as to what he had to say.
Have governors that won their re-election tonight in other states that are banning books, that are banning speech, that are banning abortion. And here we are in California moving in a completely different direction.
His commitment tonight is to continue fighting for what he calls fundamental rights. A little bit of a shift from what I asked him earlier today when I said, what are you going to focus on moving forward? And he said that he's going to focus on the homeless and housing crisis. Now, when it comes to the governor's opponent, Senator Brian Daly, he said that he is not accepting defeat just quite yet. He says he's going to continue counting ballots over the next few days, and he is also remaining hopeful.
We're going to be counted over time, and so look, I will concede if I lose the race. Absolutely, I've been doing this a long time, and you know it's what you're supposed to do. But there's a lot of votes left to count, so we're going to watch those votes.
The senator's message to those who wanted change in California is that he is going to continue fighting, but he would not say whether or not he will run for governor again. Chris and Laura, back to you.
Our Morgan Reiner starting us off tonight in downtown Sacramento. Morgan, thank you.
And we do want to show you those results for yourself. You see them right here on your screen. Incumbent Governor Gavin Newsom winning with 61% of the vote, and Brian Daly with 39%.
Let's take a look at Congressional District 3 now. This is a new district with a wide open seat. You can see it spans from Sierra to Inyo County and includes large areas of Placer County. And looking at the numbers right now for District 3, we have Republican Kevin Kiley versus Democrat Kermit Jones. And there you see the Democrat Kermit Jones has 51% of the vote. ABC 10's Van 2 is live tonight in Placer County. And Van, you're talking to Kermit Jones and Kevin Kiley.
Definitely, and those were early results, but I wanted to show you what's live happening right now. Ballots are still coming in today. Ballots cast today are still coming in, making their way here to the Placer County Election Office in Auburn. You can see workers unloading these trucks coming from all over Placer County, some coming even as far as Tahoe City, over the Sierra in very dicey conditions. So thank you to poll worker Sue Daniels who sent us the photos showing the dedication to pull this off in the winter storm. So election officials tell us that Caltrans and the Sheriff's Office even helping escort and plowing the way to ensure these ballots arrive safely to be counted.
These remaining ballots, Republican Congressional District 3 candidate Kevin Kiley is hoping will turn the tides in his favor.
You know, I'm feeling pretty good. It's still very early, so we got to wait for the votes to come in. But, you know, I feel like we gave the campaign everything we could. We got a great response from voters, and I think our message resonated, that folks are looking for change.
Early returns show first-time candidate veteran Dr. Kermit Jones with a favorable lead. This may turn out to be the surprise of the night. His supporters say they don't believe it is a long shot to send a Democrat to the House of Representatives for this region that has historically leaned Republican. A large chunk of Jones's watch party included dozens of interns who campaigned for him. although they themselves are too young to vote.
There's so many things post-Trump era we just can't ignore, especially as the youth. We're going to be experiencing all these legislative changes in the next few years, and we're going to be the ones reaping the rewards or not the rewards.
Still a tight race. Kylie's supporters say they like what he has done as an assemblyman. He's been a consistent critic of Governor Newsom.
Basically, there's a lot of people who stand for American values, and I think Kylie does.
In the end, no matter who wins, District 3 will have a new representative in the House.
I look at this as an opportunity for them to get real representation and get someone who knows what it's like to fight for people, just like I did in the military. That's exactly what I want to do in Congress, and that's what I've been so honored to have such a big team to do.
And of course, it won't be decided until every single vote is counted, and counties in California have until December 8th to certify their votes. So again, we're here in Auburn at the Placer County Election Office, where ballots cast today are still coming in by the truckloads, and as far as Tahoe City. So it will be quite the long night, and of course, a long process to count all of these ballots.
A busy night ahead. Of course, it's a race van that's getting national attention after Kevin Kiley was endorsed by former President Donald Trump. Still very early, but Democrat Kermit Jones is ahead as we speak. Van reporting live for us tonight in Placer County. We thank you. Let's take a look now at the Congressional District 9 race in San Joaquin County with incumbent Josh Harder versus Tom Patty. You see the incumbent doing well right now, still very early, but the incumbent has 61% of the vote right now.
Our Kurt Rivera has been following this race very closely and is hearing from both candidates. He joins us now from Stockton. Kurt, what have you been seeing and hearing tonight?
Well, Laura, right now we are at a giant warehouse near the Stockton Airport. I'm going to give you a look here behind me. This is where the ballot counting still continues at this hour. But take a look at some video we shot a little earlier tonight. When the first results came in, it was all smiles at the Josh Harder headquarters on North California Street in downtown Stockton. He had his wife and baby daughter Lillian there to greet supporters and campaign workers. Meantime, a few minutes away at the Ave Restaurant and Bar on the Miracle Mile in Stockton, Tom Patty was still very upbeat. The former amateur boxer may be against the ropes, but believes no knockout punch has been thrown yet. Take a listen.
Listen, it's way too early to even predict anything. I mean, we've seen races nationally that start out like this and all of a sudden they're neck and neck, or there's a change. So we'll start to pay attention to the trend. And honestly, it is what it is. I've worked hard. I've put together what was very much a grassroots effort.
But I just want to start by saying thank you. Thank you to all of the volunteers, the staff, my parents, obviously my family. I know folks have given blood, sweat, and tears over the past 2 years, the years before, dedicating themselves not just to me, not just to our campaign, but to a set of values across our community. A set of values about making sure that we can have affordable health care for everybody.
Josh Harder speaking tonight. We're back live here and the ballot counting continues, and we're told the counting will continue up to about midnight or so, and that's coincidentally when the next batch of results will be released here in San Joaquin County. We're live in Stockton. Back to you.
From all across the region, there we see people working hard late into the night, counting votes. Our Kurt Rivera giving us a behind-the-scenes look there. Kurt, we thank you. Keep in mind there are a number of close U.S. House races in California that will have national implications in Washington.
ABC 10's Andy Judson is tracking District 3 and 9 tonight, along with some other House races. Andy, the balance of power in Congress in the spotlight. What is standing out to you right now?
Yeah, Laura, it looks like Republicans are favored to take the House. Now, Republicans and Democrats, either side, need to get to 218 in order to take the House. And as you can see, Republicans are getting very close. So let's take a look at some of those local races we've been looking at. Specifically, the one we just saw Kurt at is very Democratic leading right now. But again, it is still close. And we have seen races in this area in Stockton specifically flip between different parties. Michael Tubbs is one that we can think of recently. And in District 3, let's take a look at this. This is just a massive district. And the reason it's one of the largest here, it goes all the way up to the suburbs. Now, Kevin Kiley is the assembly member for this area, but we've seen a lot of migration from the Bay Area in it. It's one of the fastest growing regions. So that is why a lot of election officials and experts are saying that we are seeing it turn purple. So this is still very close. We have seen it extend. Kiley was around 1,000 behind earlier, so you're seeing it extend a little bit. But of course, we'll continue to keep you updated here. Laura and Chris?
We'll check back in shortly with Andy. We'll take a look at the California state propositions in play, the ones we've already projected and the ones still being counted.
We're going to turn to weather right now. We are also following wild weather tonight. This is video you see right here from a viewer. They sent it to us. This is from the Galt area. The National Weather Service says there was a EF0 tornado in the area with winds around 70 miles per hour. No one was hurt, but Monica, we were live in Galt in our 5 and 6 o'clock newscast. We could see there it really caused quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, and somebody living in the area said, wait, what? There's a tornado? Yeah, confirmed just off of Highway 99. As you just heard, a barn roof blown off and some bus windows blown out. Winds at 70 miles per hour. It's a fairly low scale EF0, but nonetheless something that we were tracking throughout the day with multiple thunderstorm lines rolling on through. And we're still tracking areas of rain through the northern San Joaquin Valley, pushing off towards the mother lode. Higher up, still snowing along 80, 50, 88, 89. It's been a real mess up in the high country. And get this, we're not done yet. That cold air is still working its way in. Showers will continue for tonight. The cold air really settling in with temperatures in the 40s down low. 37 at Placerville, Nevada City at 32. That snow line at 3,000 feet for tonight into early tomorrow morning with our winter storm warning in effect until 10 a.m. And you can see how the snow showers are continuing even into our morning commute. The rain showers, meantime, are going to start to taper off. It'll be a chilly start, though. For tomorrow, 48 degrees, only getting to a high of 54. Patchy frost and fog ahead in the forecast. More on that coming up.
All right, Monica, thank you. Next on Late News Tonight at 11.
We're live here at the Sacramento County Registrar's Office, where the votes are coming in from all over Sacramento County. When we return on Late News Tonight, we'll tell you how those votes are counted and when we can expect results.
Luke, thank you. We're tracking more local races as those results come in. This is Election Night on ABC 10.
California voters had the chance to weigh in on 7 different statewide propositions this election.
Prop 1 that enshrines the right to abortion and Proposition 31 that bans flavored tobacco products both passed, and more results are still coming in tonight.
So let's check back in with our Andy Judson watching those results as they are coming in. Andy.
Yeah, let's go through some of these props. So Prop 1 enshrines the right to abortion and contraception into our state's constitution. And basically, we have an over-resounding yes here. As you can see, just the whole state is lit up in green. Now, Prop 26, this is one of 2 props that legalizes certain types of gambling. Prop 26 would legalize in-person gambling for those tribal casinos as well as horse races. But it looks like tonight it is not going to pass. Prop 27 would legalize those online and mobile gambling like FanDuel. So we can see as well, this is an oversounding no to this, 84% to 16. So I know some gambling fans are going to be disappointed out there. For Prop 28, we have a yes. For Prop 29, we have the kidney regulations. It also has not passed, as well as the last 3 years. And then finally, we have Prop 30, which is a no. So we'll continue to keep you updated over here. For now, I'll send it back to you, Chris and Laura.
Yeah, sounds good, Andy. Thank you. And coming up on the next 15 minutes of Late News Tonight, we're hearing from voters why they turned out to the polls to vote.
And we are live with a behind-the-scenes look in Sacramento County as votes are being counted. Plus, snow continues to fall in the Sierra. A closer look at conditions.
But first, here's a look at some other local races that we are following tonight. Welcome back to our continuing coverage of election night here on ABC 10.
We have a behind-the-scenes look now as the votes are being counted at the Sacramento County Elections Office.
And that's where we find ABC 10's Luke Clary live there tonight. Luke, a busy night ahead as officials continue to count ballots.
Yeah, it has been a very busy night. We've made our way now to the back of the Sacramento County Registrar's office. We're here in the warehouse where votes are coming in from all over the county. And throughout this evening, we've had Jana Haynes with Sacramento County kind of helping break down the process. Tell us, Jana, what do we have left to do tonight?
So tonight they're still going to finish tabulating the in-person votes from today, and then they have to process and bring back all the votes from all of the different locations. There's still a few coming back, you can see behind us, and then pretty soon they'll shut down for the evening and pick up tomorrow.
And can you talk us through what we see volunteers over here doing, or election workers, I should say, doing right here?
So these blue bags that came back had either in-person votes or they had these yellow envelopes that they're stamping back here are the conditional voter registration. So people that walked into a vote center, registered to vote, and then cast a ballot. Those are processed separately because these all still have to go through identity verification and eligibility.
All right, Jana, thank you so much. And I just want to show you, because we have so many races that are like razor thin that could be decided by just a couple of hundred votes. Take a look at all of these bags full of ballots that are still coming into this warehouse. And I don't know if we can make our way over here, but look at that. Inside there, all of those boxes. Again, with so many races on the line, the difference between a win or a loss could be in those ballot boxes. We'll send it back to you.
Yeah, so true. And don't forget that here in California, December 8th is the last day for county elections officials to certify election results. So a long night ahead and maybe a couple of long weeks ahead as well. Luke, thank you. We are also hearing tonight from voters.
Yeah, ABC 10's Becca Hoppecker spoke to people at Sacramento County vote centers this evening.
Here at the Greater Sacramento Urban League in North Sacramento's Del Paso Heights community, more than 200 voters cast their ballot in person, many more dropping their mail-in ballot off here as well. You know, this is a very important in-person voting center for the surrounding community.
I just feel more comfortable coming in person. I've been coming in person since I was 18. And I know people here, so it's nice to see faces.
Tamara Walton lives down the street from the Greater Sacramento Urban League and brought her children to the polls.
I actually brought my 18-year-old earlier to vote for her first time.
And Walton brought her 5-year-old later when she returned to vote, saying she wanted to be a good example for her kids.
People of color don't normally feel like their voices are heard, and I feel like we may not vote all the time, so I just want to show them that it's important to vote, and even if it doesn't go the way that we wanted it to, you know, just know that our opinion mattered and our vote counted.
Over at the Citrus Heights Community Center, typically one of Sacramento County's busiest vote centers, we caught up with first-time voter Jenny Hazlip, who turned 18 in July.
What would you say to other young people who maybe didn't vote this time around, but in the next election, would you encourage them?
I would say, yeah, because your vote matters, even though who knows where it's going to go, but your vote does count.
Hazlip wasn't the only voter with questions, concerns, or doubts about the voting process.
There's a lot of people that do not understand the process. We explain to them that this is a manual process and that everything is handled manually and nothing is handled through electronics here. Ballots themselves and ballot boxes are always under control by authorized personnel.
Hear ye, hear ye! The polls are now closed!
A busy night indeed, huh? Here at ABC 10, we stand for you, and we've been tackling your election questions throughout the evening.
Our ABC 10 team has been working throughout the night to find answers, including our Alicia Machado, who joins us live now in the studio with your most asked questions.
Hey, good evening, guys. Our team has been researching topics viewers asked us about on social media and via text, from information on propositions to post-election accuracy. Now, here are two of the top questions we received. One viewer asked, why are news outlets calling races before the votes are officially counted? Now, ABC 10 will call a race after ABC News or the Associated Press, also called AP, declares election winners. Now, the AP has a team of analysts that call races based on incoming votes. They also utilize information on how districts have voted in past elections and whether a race is closely contested. You may have noticed that the Associated Press called the race for California governor for Gavin Newsom right after the polls closed in California. Well, the AP says that in some states, a party or candidate's history of consistent wins by a wide margin may make a race eligible to be called as soon as the polls close. But polling data is used as well to confirm that a candidate has won. If a race is too close to call, it may take a few days. Now, another question we got is, what assurances do we have that ballots were counted correctly? Now, overall, ballots are counted by a machine and also go through an auditing process to make sure that ballots won't be counted twice. Elections officials ensure that the number of ballots they have in-house match voters' information that they have on file. They also conduct a random tally to ensure that ballots are being counted correctly. Now, we will continue to be online if you have any other questions at home.
Alicia, thank you. Turning to weather now to the snow coverage in the Sierra. And the storm watch as snow continued to fall in the Sierra all day long.
Yeah, ABC 10's John Bartel was up in the mountains today to show us the conditions.
Well, we had a pretty significant snowfall come down up here on the Sierra. Several inches of snow covering everything. We wanted to check out the snowpack up here, so we headed up to the Central Sierra Snow Lab to check out the data. When the snow starts to pile up on Interstate 80, snowplow drivers hop in their trucks and tractors and get to work. But when the snow piles up in the mountains, Andrew Swartz puts on his snow boots and starts hiking.
With these big types of storms, commuting just isn't a good idea.
Andrew's a scientist with the UC Berkeley Central Sierra Snow Laboratory in Soda Springs. And if you want to talk to him personally, you have to trudge through the snow just to meet him.
Sure would be nice if this was plowed.
There is a road to his office, but unlike Interstate 80, it rarely gets plowed, and for good reason.
We tend not to trample too much all over it in the winter because, of course, we're taking measurements of the snow.
Scientists at the Snow Lab, as it's known, pretty much do what you would expect. They study snow, and the research here at this facility goes back to the mid-1940s.
We really measure all things snow.
There's a lot of complex scientific devices collecting a lot of data that serves many purposes here.
If we hope to come out of this drought at all, or even just maintain it, we absolutely have to have good storm systems throughout the winter.
The snowpack has been pretty bad for the past few years because of the drought, and though today's snow is good, it's not great.
We need about an entire year's worth of precipitation to get caught back up to where we are because of the drought.
From the Central Sierra Snow Lab at Soda Springs, I'm John Bartel.
Nice to see all that snow coming down, Monica. I know tomorrow in the Valley, ice rink opens in downtown Sacramento. How's the weather going to be for that?
Patchy frost and fog ahead in the forecast. I'd say perfect weather for getting out on that ice rink. Tonight, however, we're still tracking some areas of showers. This is all going to clear out by the time we get to the morning commute. However, for the Sierra, we're going to linger those showers into the morning commute forecast. It's not as heavy as what we've been seeing earlier today, but it'll still be apparent and with us. Saw thunderstorms earlier this afternoon, accumulating hail in Elk Grove. Thanks to Jean Marie for submitting that photo there out on the back porch. And look at Donner. This looks like January. Mindy saying she got about 20 inches of snow as of about 5:30 this afternoon, and it's still dumping up there. So you can imagine the accumulations we're going to see by tomorrow morning when everything is calculated. Upload photos just like that on the ABC 10 app to be a part of the Weather Force team and stay ahead of the weather systems that come in. It is that active time of year, rain and snow pretty much on and off in the forecast. Our total rain anywhere from 1/2 inch to 1 inch. That is just since midnight. That doesn't even account for what we saw yesterday, 1 to 2 inches of rain for the foothills, and it's doing a nice job of digging us out of what we've already created, a deficit for the water year. As if 3 years wasn't enough, we started off with very little rain for the water year. We're still about 1/4 inch behind, but we're starting to do a nice job catching up here. 53 are high today. Oh, we were about 10 to 15 degrees below average throughout the entire region this afternoon. Only upper 40s and lower 50s for much of the valley, 40s for the foothills, and near 30 up top for the Sierra. Did you also notice that sunset? Wow, was that getting earlier after the time change? Today, we officially dropped below 5 p.m. for our sunset. We don't actually get back there until January 6th. So day by day, we're just going to keep seeing those earlier and earlier sunsets until we get to the winter solstice. After that, you can see how we start to climb back up. But again, January 6th is the next time we won't see our sunset after 5 o'clock. Out in the Gilmore backyard, 40s right now. We've got variable clouds, showers for the northern San Joaquin Valley and still falling for the Sierra. Timeline showing a fairly dry commute, some pockets of some isolated showers in the northern San Joaquin Valley, and snow still steady until roughly 10 a.m. when that winter storm warning expires. After that, we'll start tracking another low coming in off the coast. It does give us a chance for some for some showers this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and into Monday. Highs in the 30s tomorrow for the Sierra. Again, that winter storm warning in effect until 10 a.m. Down the hill, we're in the 40s with our snow line at 3,000 feet. It's going to be some long travel delays up into the high country. We've got dry conditions right now on tap for Saturday and Sunday, but we'll be tracking that weather system off the coast. 50s along the coast for tomorrow. We'll find 50s as well inland, putting us 10 degrees below average after a slight chance of a early morning shower. We're going to clear things out for the afternoon with our 10-day forecast showing dry weather but patchy frost and fog Thursday and Friday mornings.
Taking a look at national races tonight in Arizona, the battle for governor still taking shape. Democrat Katie Hobbs has a lead right now over Trump-backed Kari Lake, about 57% of the vote reporting.
In Pennsylvania tonight, the highly anticipated Senate race between John Fetterman and Republican Dr. Oz was in a dead heat until just about an hour ago. Democrat John Fetterman wins the Senate race there, flipping a seat for Democrats in the Senate, a major victory for the party.
And back to our local election coverage here in California and the race for the governor in our state.
Yeah, Governor Gavin Newsom will serve another term. Andy Judson is live in the studio. And Andy, he made a good point today. He said he's had, 3 races in 4 years now.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And here is the latest race. It has been called. Newsom will remain as our governor for another second term. You can see he took the lead with 61%, and Dolly has basically 40% here. And take a look at our county map here. And as you said, this, is his second term, but he's had more races. So let's take a look at his most recent race, the recall election. You can see when you compare the map, it basically is the exact same with no's and yeses. Now, specifically, Dolly is from up here in Northern California. You can see that area specifically said yes to recalling Newsom and yes to Dolly being governor. But for now, we can see people majoritarily voted exactly the same as they did in the recall election. Chris and Laura.
Yeah, very interesting. Andy, thank you. We're going to have one more look at our forecast when we come back. But first, here's a look at some of those races that we are following.
Those lingering showers finally starting to taper off here through most of the valley, but the northern San Joaquin Valley, we're hanging on to a few more raindrops there, increasing our rain totals, and snow still falling in the Sierra. Winter storm warning in effect until 10 a.m.
So take it slow out there in the morning. Want you to be safe. You want to get to where you're going without any drama, right?
Oh, don't need that drama. It's been a busy day. We've had everything from election, tornado, and snow up in the Sierra, and rain. A lot. So get a good rest, everyone.
Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you back here tomorrow.